Hi guys, Danica here and welcome to another unfiltered video. So for this one, I just want to give you a quick example of a site that I know is using BuddyBoss. And let's just see some of the areas of how they have laid it out. And then also we're just gonna check what exact tools are they using for some of the sections of their sites. So again, to learn more about BuddyBoss, you could visit buddyboss.com and then this is their current pricing by the time of this recording. This one, so one site 299 and so on in here for more sites. The theme already includes the BuddyBoss theme, the platform, meaning you need to install the template in WordPress. You need to install, I think, 2 plugins in WordPress. And then with that, it's going to work with the community functionality out of the box and a pre-defined layout for you. Now, if you want to see a demo, I think they have here, try the demo. And then it's going to ask for you to register, provide your information. And then it's going to create a temporary website that you can access. So you're activating the demo. You could sign in on the back end to see more how this theme exactly works. So it will install BuddyBoss and stuff in here. If we go on the back end, so in here, you could see all of the settings and access that and exactly see what apps or configuration that they have. So out of the box, if you're just going to import their demo site, by default, you should have this kind of layout. They do have a documentation to how to properly import the demo. I also covered that in my previous video. So check that out if you're interested to use the demo at the beginning of your project when using BuddyBoss. Now in here, there's some banners. I could close that and then let's just focus on the community functionality. So with the community, if you have seen my video yesterday, we have checked the school. So it's kind of similar in this one, although what is different with BuddyBoss is, of course, you could customize this, you could access the code, you can enhance the functionality as long as you know what you need to do in the code, right? So that kind of whitelisted things. But of course, there's a side of that you need to maintain it, right? So for this one, it has the functionality to create a post. So just like in the school, this one, this does not have the title. But if example, I make this title, I could format it and then more details below. And I could remove the bold. If I post that, it's gonna show in here. So there's also categorization in here, functionality. So we were wondering yesterday if this was available. So this one is topic. So again, if I think I can edit this and then I could select a topic. Let's just say health and wellness. So update. So now if I go to all and then of course announcement, my post will not be in there. But if I go to health and wellness, my post is in there. So kind of have that filter. And then this is kind of like onboarding process. So kind of similar to what school has, but I think this one you could, this is pointing to the options that are available in the BuddyBoss profile, latest update, recent active members, the groups, and then it's only going to show groups that you're part of. Again, you can turn on and off the sections if you don't need them to simplify your platform. One of the issues that I saw when working on clients using BuddyBoss is they kind of course, you kind of want it all, right? You kind of want all of this nice functionality that you see on the demo site. But if you're just starting out, like if you're in the stage like and you're in the beginners level, then some of this is gonna be new for you. So you may not know exactly how to take advantage on the section. So my suggestion for that is always just to start on sections that you think you need for your community. And then later on, we can always dive in and see if other functionalities in BuddyBoss will help you. And we could enable that in your BuddyBoss site, right? And then for that one, we also add some section here to collect feedback so that we will understand what your members need. So again, this is the demo site and feel free to create yours so that you could play more on how exactly BuddyBoss works. And if you get overwhelmed, again, do note that these functionalities that you see here, sections that you see here, you could turn off if you don't need them, okay? The purpose of this demo is to showcase all of the options that are available for you if you choose to use the BuddyBoss theme. Okay, so next is let's go to back here, and then again for the pricing, it's this one. Now I have an example site here that I know is using BuddyBoss. Was able to access this from a project that was working with. So first is if you go to the login screen here, so the Female Entrepreneur Association. So for this site, they are using BuddyBoss with combination with other tools. From what I know, they're using LearnDash, Elementor, and other WordPress plugins as well. So let's check that. But then out of the box, they're using BuddyBoss theme, and they have customized it based on how they need it to work. Okay. So first, this is by default you can get this login screen from BuddyBoss. You should able to assign background image like this out of the box, and then you should able to do that. Before, I know that I know that there is no options to put a CTA, but we do have a solution for that. But of course, adding some custom code on your team. So Female Entrepreneurship Association for this one, they are using BuddyBoss, and I know they're also using LearnDash for their courses. But of course, they have already customized this based on how they think they need the layout to flow based on their members' usage. But out of the box, you should be able to get this layout. But of course, you need to set your logo, set your colors, and customize the font family based on your branding. But this layout out of the box is already like this, okay? And you can put image, you can put message on the left side, and then this links already exists. You just need to assign the page. Now, once you sign in, enter your information, it's gonna look like this. So if we compare that with the BuddyBoss demo site, so this one, right? So they have the same items. So they have some notifications and so on here. But of course, in their end, they have customized or override the default icons that's used by BuddyBoss to match their branding, of course. And then they have the pages here at the top nav, and then the body panel. And then with that one, what they did is, as you can see, it's similar to what BuddyBoss offer, but they kind of turn off, example, this one, they turn off this functionality to be able to close and open that section. And then they kind of created a highlight link, which again, you can achieve that via CSS. And then again, they have customized the icons here if it did not exist in the one. I think they also customized the colors, of course. And then, of course, font family. And then I think the shadow is similar. And then what they did is, as you can see on the demo, it is showing, the logo showing in the header, but you can change that in, so you can change that in the settings so that your logo, instead of in the header, it's gonna show on the left side. Now, viewing the source of this site, so first is, of course, we already know it's BuddyBoss. As you can see, it says BP template, BuddyBoss, it exists, right? And then we know they're using Elementor, we know they're using LearnDash, and then what else? So if we control FWP includes, so LearnDash, and for the events, let's check. So for the events, they're using event listener, add event.com. So they're using this. So pricing, okay. Event on, okay. So event on, I think this is the plugin for the WordPress calendar. Event on, okay, I see. Okay, so they're using a bunch of plugins again to achieve this. So out of the box, if you go to BuddyBoss, it doesn't look like that, right, on the demo. So in there, what they did is, and this is also what we do for most of the project, is depending on the flow again. But if you want, in most cases, what we do is we design a dashboard, and in the dashboard, they're gonna see the most important information that that you want them to see the first time or every time they visit your site. So once they sign in, you want to point them to a dashboard, and in the dashboard, that's gonna show them a layout of how you'd like their experience to flow. So in their case, they have some list of highlights of what's happening on the site. And then they also have latest replays, resources, community, and then accountability. We're not going to open some of this section for privacy purposes. I just want to demo how it looks and what's the options for you if you're going to use BuddyBoss. So they have some list of events. And then again, this one, since you're going to use, let's just check this one. So it is again Elementor. So if you're going to use Elementor, you could easily achieve a custom layout based on how you want it to look. And then their end, they have some visibility, they have some faces. So each face of their members, what they do is they assign that to you, and then that is going to be your guide for how you're going to start with the program. So if example, if I go to this phase, I know that I need to get working on these lessons, right? And so on in here. And then, of course, at the bottom, more resources, like you can download the app. So they're using the BuddyBoss app. So in the plan, you can see that there's an app. So you could get that, and then it will create, or it will allow you to create a mobile app for your platform. And then some prints that you could buy in the shop. And then here, some podcasts and so on. And then footer. Now, other than that, we could also check resources. In the resources, this one is a custom like listing or a custom archive that they created where they're able to list the resources and categorize them into groups. And then with that, you could, of course, see all in here. And then you could also see all the printables. But with this is like a library, custom library. So this is the layout that they have. But again, because you are in WordPress, you're not limited to this layout. You could create your own layout of what you think or how you think your audience or members should consume your content. So if you go to click the view all, you could see that it redirected you to the templates. And then with that, it pointed you, there's a back button as well. And then printable, so similar layout, right? Now for the faces, again, I could just go here and view it all, 7 lessons. So this is, I assume this is a LearnDash course. So if I open that in a new link, so this is a LearnDash course. They renamed the slug. So instead of courses in LearnDash, you have an option to rename that. So you could, in their end, they have renamed that to classes. And then by default, if we go to the demo site here, I think there's some, hope they have LearnDash in here. Okay, my courses. And then if I open that, so, and then I'm just gonna close that. So out of the box, this is the default design, this one. So if we compare that with here, so what they did is first they have assigned a different image on the background, that one. So it looks nicer in terms of aligning to their branding, of course. And then you already have the title, and then you have that description in here, short description option, and then they have this progress bar which exists in here, and then the author which also exists. So they have used that. And then these are materials. And then on their end, I know this part is already customized because the materials looks different if you put that in LearnDash. And then this one is the text, like this one. And then if you scroll down, this is the lessons. Now on the lessons list, if you check BuddyBoss, they have, of course, the title and some icons if you have assigned topics beneath it. And then on their end, what they did is they don't have the topics, they only have lessons. And then they created or assigned a custom icon for that. And then this will get marked check if you have completed that lessons. And again, about instructor, in their end, they renamed it about the expert, and then image, name, and then of course, more details. For this one, it is 2 courses assigned to that, and in their end, they're using the information regarding the position of that expert. And then here on the right side, there's a button. This one says start. So if I click that and then go back here, okay, let's just say I'm gonna mark this. Okay, so there's some topics. So I'm gonna mark this complete. And I go back to the here. So it says in progress, continue, right? Well, in their end is they have continue and then save as bookmark. If I save that and save, and then class included 7 lessons. So they don't, BuddyBoss does not have that functionality here. So what they did is they customized this part already and then continue. So that's an example of customizations that, again, you can do with LearnDash. Of course, it takes time, right? You need to design the layout that you exactly want. You need to align it to your branding, and you need to spend the time to do it. But if that's really your goal in your platform, to create layout and user experience that you really have that vision, and you don't want something like like example, these other apps like school, membership IO, and so on, then of course, again, BuddyBoss team allows you to do that. But again, side note of that is you need to do the web dev work, you need to do the maintenance. So there's pros and cons, okay? So that's the courses. And if we go to classes here, so and then go to classes in here, so courses in the demo site, and then compare that with classes in this female entrepreneur website. So on their end, they have already customized the first part. They have a slider here. So I'm gonna show them this is a custom page with that, and then custom listing. So this one. So we could achieve this with example using JetEngine. So custom slider, you could achieve that using JetEngine. These are filters, which is also you can use that with JetEngine, and then listing like this one, and then custom numbers here, and so on. So again, they're not using the default from LearnDash listing, but it is again available if you want to. And then as you can see on the right side, they have a feedback, collecting of feedback. So as mentioned in my last video, the feedback will really help you understand exactly what your members need. So if you choose to use BuddyBoss because you want this custom layout, custom experience that you believe your members should able to access to, and you have that vision and you prefer that, right? Of course, BuddyBoss can help you with that. But again, collecting feedback, continuously collecting feedback will really help you understand what you need to do or improvements that you need to do for your platform. Okay, so that is Female Entrepreneur Association. And again, they're using BuddyBoss, they're using LearnDash. So if you want to learn more about LearnDash, you could visit learndash.com. And then the current pricing right now is $199 per year for one site. Now for hosting, I have covered it as in my past videos, but I highly recommend using very good hosting. And there are others that I've mentioned, such as Rapid from BuddyBoss. So they have created their own web hosting that you could use. So BuddyBoss, I know that they're using AWS on the back end, but they have created this so that all you need to do is just launch your site and they're gonna handle the performance and stuff. The pricing for that is starts at around here, but let's just say monthly. I think in most of our clients who have tried Rapid, they have used Starter, but at I think pricing, not this one. I think it was around, but it's not 59 per month. Ah, okay. Yeah. I forgot the pricing, but we did have clients who tried the starter. And then for, let's just say, they have also business and performance options. I think they have kind of adjusted their pricing right now compared to what I did saw last time. So yeah, maybe I could recheck the pricing in the future videos as well so that we can create the latest comparison. But for our clients right now, most of them are in RunCloud and we partner that with Hetzner. So for Hetzner, it is AX102 or 52. So if you have a very high traffic marketing and activity going on, we recommend this. But if you're just starting out and just want a very good and stable server, then the AX52 is the one that I recommend. Now, there's also lower than this, but it depends. I think it's going to work if you're not using BuddyBoss. For me, BuddyBoss team is kind of heavy, especially if your members start interacting inside. So you need that power. Now, for female entrepreneurship, last time I heard, I know that they're using the Vultr. Now, I've tried Vultr and use it personally for our sites. It's actually also very good. The setup is also very smooth. But again, you still need to partner that with RunCloud. Comparing Vultr with Hetzner, Vultr has more locations. Like example, if you really wanted to be in USA or specific part of USA, they have that location. Unlike in Hetzner, I know they are in Germany, right? So very limited. So it's only this two location. But still, so far we didn't see any issue at the moment in terms of speed or performance, even if most of our clients are in USA. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. Just want to show you an example. I'm also working on creating maybe templates that you could directly purchase with BuddyBoss. I'm not sure yet when I'll get done, but that's part of the projects that we're working on right now as a team to create a pre-designed templates that we know works based on the BuddyBoss templates and its option. So stay tuned on that one. But if you have any question on these topics that we have covered for this video, BuddyBoss, LearnDash, what else you could do with BuddyBoss, feel free to comment that down below. And I'll see if I could cover that in my I'll see if I could cover that in my next unfiltered videos. But yeah, thanks for watching this Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.